Welcome once more to another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. Thank you as always for taking the time to watch my videos, which hopefully you do find informative. And when you go to your local bookstore, you will look at the book that I'm about to review and decide whether it is for you. And the book this time out is Heartbroken, Field Notes on a Constant Condition by Laura Pratt. This is published by Random House Canada and it retails for $24.99. There aren't too many people who have not gone through a broken relationship. Now, some people, there are high school sweethearts who they're their only companions, their only date, and they're together for life, sort of like birds, that mate for life. Well, a lot of us have gone through relationship breakups, and they're not easy to handle. Now, Laura Pratt talks about a relationship breakup with a man that, she calls in the book Sam. It was a long-distance relationship. She was in Toronto, he was in Montreal. So for 6 years, they went back and forth. They went on vacations together. So I would say there's a lot of, red flags waving in the breeze, like six years of long distance. Why, after 6 years, you just, if you're that close, get together. Like she was divorced, of course. She had children, and he was divorced, and he had children as well. He has grown children, and her children were growing up as well too. But suddenly, when he was down in Toronto at the train station, he basically just said to her, "We're through." That was it. So because of this, I guess she figures she didn't get any closure. And after that, she was constantly phoning him, texting him, emailing him incessantly till he got to the point and said, "Please leave me alone." But in the book, you can tell that I don't think she'll ever get over it. It's been nearly 8 years after the fact. And if you can't get over somebody after 8 years, well, I guess you never will, but there are reasons why you should. And in the book, she quotes a lot of famous studies about love, companionship, romance, breakups, and the whole 900 yards, so to speak. In a way, a relationship ending is almost like a death. And she talks about Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, who wrote about death. And but in the book, you get to the point where you just say, okay, let it go. On certain days, on the calendar year, she would look back and say, well, on this day in our relationship, we did this. And she even, actually, her daughter was connected to him on Facebook. And at one point, Laura even went under her daughter's identity, to write to him as though it was her daughter writing. Now, every Christmas, she sent a Christmas stocking to him long after the relationship ended, and she was always tracking it online, to make sure he got it. And then she would almost like fantasize, oh, he's looking through the shaving cream, he's looking through this, he's remembering. The book is fine for those who, have had relationship breakups. They can understand and share with her the sorrow. But at times the book just goes on, and she still has unrequited love. He obviously wanted nothing to do with her. He never contacted her again. And for whatever reason, he did not want to. You often think, well, because of the incessant pestering, was that part of it? Now, I'm not here to judge people, but I just, based on how she writes, like, she writes very well. It flows very well, but you get to the point where you're always hearing, well, we did this, and I think of this, and I think of him often, and yeah, okay, I had a relationship that ended badly 20 years ago, and I don't sit there pining for anything. It ended for a reason. There are reasons that things happen, and if you can understand that, and you might be curious about why she, handled it the way she did. You might find the book Heartbroken, to be enlightening. But, to be honest, part of it's fine. But the part where it just goes on and on and on, I'm sorry. You'll have to decide whether this book's for you. Personally, for 300 pages, you read and you read and you read about it was over. Yes, it's over. A time comes when we have to sever ties and let it go. But based on how Laura Pratt writes, I don't know if she ever will. But I do wish her well in the future. And hopefully she'll have another book because, like I said, she's a great writer and with a different, more upbeat and enlightening subject. So that's the book I wanted to review for you. Let me know if you agree with me if you do purchase it. So until we meet again, stay safe, stay sane, stay in touch, and I will see you at the bookstore. Thank you again for watching, and bye for now.